We're in Washington, D.C.'s Brookland neighborhood at Primrose with co-owners Sebastian Zutant and Lauren Winter. This is At the Table, and I'm Austa. What are some elements of the restaurant that you think really evoke, I guess, your own personal style and put it apart from the restaurants that you've worked on?
So we didn't want to take a place in France and pick it up and put it into Brookland. We wanted to really understand why it felt French. So certain elements, like when you walk in the door and you see the tile work, we noticed that was at a lot of entranceways in France, and we adored it.
How did you decide to become a sommelier?
I really enjoy showing people things that they wouldn't normally drink. I definitely take the avant-garde approach to wine programs. My definition of natural wine, the grapes have to be farmed either organically, sustainably, or biodynamically. And then what makes wine natural is when you get into the cellar. And what happens in the cellar is there's no fining, there's no filtration, right? It's literally just take the grapes, put it into like stainless steel or like old wood, step on it or have it pressed, and then leave it there.
There's something genuine about French cooking that I am passionate about. So when Seb and I were sitting down first coming over like the idea of Primrose itself, we decided that we wanted some of the classic dishes. So obviously French onion soup, steak frites, as well as some new things like parsnips with apples and using kind of some French ingredients and vegetables, but then modernizing them to the American palate.
Do you like working with vegetables because you worked on an organic farm for how many years? 6 years?
There's something about getting your hands dirty, putting your hands, pulling out these vegetables and starting that process and cooking them. And there's such a difference of taking a fresh vegetable out of the earth and cooking it that day and the flavor.
Yeah, when you came back to DC after those many years of being away, what did you notice was different about the food scene here, and how do you feel like it's continued to evolve since then?
I like the fact that there's a lot more smaller restaurants and there's more wide variety of food. It's not just downtown, it's Mount Pleasant, it's Columbia Heights, it's Brookland. You can experience a really honest meal from a different part of the country without breaking the bank.
So the biggest lesson that I've learned is that I enjoy trusting myself and not really having to ask a lot of people for opinions.
And he gets to do what he wants creatively with wine. There's no
Correct.
questions there. He likes some very strange wines.
They're not strange, they're delicious.
Let's use a different
Strangely
word.
delicious.
Strangely delicious.
I would say that yes, I go out on a limb quite a bit, and I kind of like not having to explain myself.
There was a lot of neighborhood here before we got here. So I think there was a desire not to disrupt the neighborhood, but just bring something new and wonderful to it and allow it to be like the new neighbor, like the new kid on the block, providing something exciting and wonderful while not detracting from the wonderfulness that's already here.
Yeah, what do you think about the food scene here in DC and the community, and what would you like to see more of?
DC has so much community, and the business owners all kind of root for each other and support each other, and I think that's very, very unique to DC.
I would like to see a lot more people kind of trying to shake it up. There's a plethora of like big box restaurants, and DC sort of had like a small revitalization of like chef-owned or small owner-owned restaurants for a period of time, and that's sort of peeled back a little bit lately, and I would really like to see more people kind of branching out on their own and doing their own stuff again.
There were places we went to all the time where we visited certain bartenders or certain chefs, and it wasn't their place. So as we grew up in DC, all these people who we have experiences with started opening up their own businesses. And so like Sebastian, he worked for all these other people, but now this is his own.
What do you think is required of new restaurants that are coming in to be successful? And create their own space within this food scene?
For me, I like to highlight the people being strange who also make really great wine. I think it's really important to ride that line of creativity that is also attractive.
We talk a lot about what's necessary in a restaurant, and number one is service. You know, you have to have people who make you feel happy to be there. When you walk in the door, you want that smile, you want the welcome. And I think we obtain that here, and you know, that's what I think is necessary in every restaurant. More than the design, more than the food, more than everything. You have to have a good experience, and you have to have people make you feel happy to be there.